This week on Weekly News Recap.
Kuna watu genuinely wanataka mabadiliko.
Kujeni na mkokoteni zenyu, kujeni na wheelbarrow.
From political shifts.
What is a popular government and what is a populist government?
The issue is governance and integrity.
To groundbreaking discoveries, uncovering the stories that shape our world.
Mambo haiko fiti.
Hii serikali haitupeleki vizuri hata kidogo.
Join us every Friday for a comprehensive look at the news that matters.
Hospitali imejaa kwa sababu services ziko.
News Recap, your essential source for informed perspectives.
Good evening, I'm Kyuli Mwikali, coming to you live from TAS TV, bringing to you stories that shape our future. This October of 15. The nation is in mourning following the death of ODM leader Raila Odinga. Tears flowed in Nairobi as thousands of Kenyans filled the streets to pay their last respects to man many described as the father of Kenya's democracy. Waving flags, singing liberation songs, and crying his portraits, mourners celebrated Raila's lifelong fight for justice and equality. Leaders from across the political divide joined citizens in honoring his legacy, making the end of an era in Kenyan political history. Funeral arrangements are expected to be announced in the coming days. To more updates. Tears flowed freely in Nairobi as thousands of Kenyans filled the streets to mourn the passing of ODM leader Raila Odinga. Supporters, friends, and leaders from across the country gathered to pay their last respect to a man many described as the father of Kenya's democracy. Waving flags, singing liberation songs, and carrying his portraits, mourners celebrated Raila's lifelong fight for justice and equality. Emotions ran high as leaders from different political backgrounds joined citizens in honoring his legacy. Marking the end of an era in Kenya's political history, funeral arrangements are expected to be announced in the coming days. Kyuli Mwikali reporting for TAS TV from Thika, Kiambu. A tragic security breach at State House, Nairobi has left a General Service Unit officer dead following a shocking attack outside the main gate. The suspect, who is now in custody, has already been arrested as investigations continue into the motive and possible mental health issues behind the incident. Vincent Ko has the details.
A chilling incident unfolded on Monday morning at Gate D, State House, Nairobi, when a man attacked and fatally wounded a General Service Unit officer on duty. According to witnesses and police statement, he hid behind a flower bed near the gate and at an opportune moment lunged at the officer with the spear. The weapon struck the left side of the chest. The officer was swiftly taken to Kenyatta National Hospital, but he succumbed to his injuries upon arrival.
The DCI to find out what was the motive for that person to come and kill an innocent person, an innocent officer. Still very young, my only baby. Why would he kill my baby? What did that child do to him or her? My baby was just doing his work. He was on duty.
Immediately after the attack, other security personnel at State House overpowered and arrested the suspect on site. In court, the suspect appeared visibly injured, limping and missing a shoe and socks on one foot. He was escorted by security agent as he made his way into the court. He has claimed during the interrogation that he was sent by the Satan to carry out the attack. Authorities are probing his mental state, and the court has ordered mental treatment and a possible psychiatric evaluation.
Why police officers on duty, as the mother has said, losing their lives at a very serious institution, the State House. You know, that lapse in security must be addressed.
Tulishangaa sana kwa kusikia na kuona kwa masimu yeye anasemekana ameua mtu. Tumeishi na yeye kama mtu mpole, mtu hakuwa na maneno, na kwa kweli watu wengi wale wenye wanamjua wameshangaa sana.
A Nairobi court has granted invigilators 14 days to detain the suspect for further investigations. Reporting for TAS TV, my name is Vincent.
President William Ruto has announced major steps to strengthen Kenya's defense forces. Speaking during this year's KDF Day celebration in Eldoret, the president revealed that his administration has expedited acquisition and modernization of defense systems to boost the military's capacity in addressing global security threats. He also said the government has prioritized the welfare of service members through an accelerated housing project to improve living conditions across bases and barracks. Joseph reports.
President William Ruto has announced that his government has accelerated the process of acquiring and upgrading defense systems for the Kenya Defense Forces. This move is aimed at enhancing the military's capacity to respond effectively to modern global security challenges and evolving warfare tactics.
The government has fast-tracked the acquisition and modernization of defense systems, improved mobility platforms, and strengthened cyber and intelligence capabilities.
During his speech at this year's Kenya Defense Force Day celebration held in Eldoret, President Ruto emphasized the importance of equipping the armed forces with advanced tools and technology. He noted that modernization is a key step in ensuring the readiness and resilience of the military in both local and international operations.
The battlefield is changing rapidly, and Kenya must always remain a step ahead of emerging threats.
In addition to upgrading defense systems, the president highlighted that the government has included the military in an expedited housing program. This initiative targets the construction and improvement of housing facilities across various military services, bases, and barracks, aimed to improve the living conditions of services members and boost their morale.
We have expanded healthcare in military facilities, accelerated housing projects across services, bases, and barracks, and enhanced family support programs. When a soldier has the comfort of knowing that family is safe and supported, they serve with sharper focus, greater courage, and unshakable resolve.
Reporting for TAS TV, Thika, Kiambu County, my name is Joseph Mushe.
As Kenya's competency-based education system nears the crucial grade 9 to 10 transition, concerns are growing over how ready schools care for the change. Many rural institutions still lack proper facilities and trained teachers, raising fears that public school students may fall behind. Despite government assurances, parents and experts want that the time is running to ensure equal learning opportunities for all. Luis Sekenyoyo reports.
As Kenyan competence-based education system CBE moves toward the important grade 9 to 10 transition, parents, teachers, and experts are worried about how ready schools and students are. The first group of junior secondary students is set to join junior schools, but they are concerned about classrooms, trained teachers, and enough learning materials for the next level.
And 7 tracks, they will need more facilities than just the 844. That is why we have enhanced even our farm, which will give the students an opportunity to practice the subjects that they are being taught, and also as a source of food, fresh food.
Many schools, especially in rural areas, do not have enough facilities like labs and classrooms to support the new subjects. Teachers also says they have not received enough training to teach the advanced lesson. This situation could cause students in poor areas to fall behind, increasing the gap between public and private schools.
CBE is that the classroom will now be child-centered, will now be learner-centered. The teacher will be there as a facilitator, maybe we shouldn't even call them teachers anymore, because their job will not be to teach. Their job will be to guide the learners to the knowledge and ultimately the competencies that the learners are expected to achieve or acquire.
Even though the government says it is preparing, many people think time is running out. Parents are unsure where their children will go and if senior schools will be ready.
I'm sure your average Kenyan child from a rural school somewhere in the depths of this country, the closest they have probably come to a computer is a smartphone, and even that may not be guaranteed. Whereas that child going to a private primary school or junior school in Nairobi probably already owns their own tablet. Okay, you begin to see the inequities there.
As the countdown continues, this transition will show how prepared Kenya is to fully carry out the competence-based curriculum, CBC, and give every learner a fair chance. Reporting for TAS TV, Thika, Kiambu County, my name is Lesia Konyo.
Let's take a short break. We will be back with more updates. Stay tuned. Welcome back as we continue. Kenya is taking a major step towards strengthening its infrastructure and boosting economic growth. President William Ruto has unveiled a new national infrastructure fund aimed at driving investments in roads, water, energy, and digital connectivity. The initiative is part of the government's broader plan to transform Kenya into a modern, first-world economy. Azel Mwenda has more.
President William Ruto has unveiled an ambitious plan to establish National Infrastructure Fund aimed at transforming Kenya into a modern, first-world economy country. The fund is expected to accelerate large-scale investment in key sectors including roads, water, energy, and digital connectivity, all geared towards driving national development and improving the quality of life for Kenyans.
What excites me most is the human transformation taking shape here. Konza is creating thousands of jobs, internships, and innovation opportunities for our young people. More than 4,000 Kenyans have already been employed here, with 1,000 more expected by mid-2026, and 10,000 projected in light manufacturing alone. The average age of Kenya's workforce here is just 28 years.
Speaking during launch of Phase 1 of Konza Technopolis, President Ruto emphasized that the government remains committed to creating a strong foundation for sustainable growth. He noted that strategic infrastructure investment is not only vital for economic expansion, but also essential for attracting both local and international investors to key development projects.
We need to build more infrastructure. Roads, rail, airport. You people have talked about all of them here. You've talked about roads, you've talked about rail, you've talked about airport, right? That is what we need to do in Kenya. Today, we don't have an airport. We have a makeshift something on the runway in Jomo Kenyatta. And we are busy with a conversation. Oh, yes, oh, I don't know who, what, where. You know, useless conversation. We need to be serious.
The head of state reiterated that these projects are designed to have ripple effects across the economy, stimulating innovation, creating employment opportunities, and positioning Kenya as a regional hub of technology and advancement in industrial sector. He added that through the National Infrastructure Fund, the government seeks to ensure equitable development across the counties, enhancing connectivity and empowering local communities to tap into new economic opportunities. President Ruto said the vision is to build a resilient nation driven by innovation, productivity, and growth.
Hapa sasa tuko na mambo mengi ambayo ni ya first world. Hapa pia tutakuwa na affordable housing, kuhakikisha kwamba wale ambao watafanya kazi katika city ya Konza watakuwa na makao hapa, and they will also have smart homes hapa Konza, na itakuwa katika ile bei ya kawaida ya affordable housing.
Reporting for TAS TV from Thika, Kiambu County, my name is Kelvin Azel Mwenda.
Across the country, tea farmers are voicing growing frustration over unequal bonus payments. They say disparities between factories are unfair and discouraging, blaming poor management and lack of transparency for differences. Farmers are urging the government and KTDA to review the systems to ensure fairness and accountability. Many now hope for reforms that will guarantee equal and rewarding bonuses in the future. Miriam Yar with more.
Farmers across the country are raising concerns over the disparities in bonus prices announced by various tea factories, saying the differences are unfair and discouraging. Many small-scale growers, especially in the highland regions, have expressed frustration. While some factories are paying higher bonuses, others are giving significantly lower amounts despite farmers producing the same quality of tea. They argue that management inefficiency, lack of transparency, and unequal distribution of proceeds are to blame, calling on the government and the Kenya Tea Development Agency to review the payment system and ensure fairness. Agricultural experts note that while global market prices and factory performances may influence payouts, stronger oversights and accountability are needed to perfect farmers' interests. As the tea picking season continues, many farmers are hoping for reforms that will guarantee equitable and rewarding bonuses. Miriam Yar reporting for TAS TV from Thika, Kiambu.
The humanitarian situation in Haiti continues to worsen. According to aid agencies, about 680,000 children have been forced from their homes by violent conflict, nearly double the number from last year. The total number of displaced people now exceeds 1.3 million, with over 3.3 million children in urgent need of humanitarian assistance. Escalating gang violence has deepened the crisis, cutting off communities from essential services. Mwende Musembi reports.
Public infrastructures and essential services are collapsing. With roads, healthcare, education, security, and displacement is becoming more common. Many children are becoming displaced multiple times as violence spread from place to place. Over 33% of displacement sites lack of basic protection infrastructures, which put children and women at higher risk of violence. Schools are often used as shelters, disrupting learning from nearly 500,000 students. Over 1 million children are facing critical food insecurity. Roughly 288,500 children under the age of 5 are projected to suffer from acute malnutrition this year.
Very important that every measure is taken to trace their families and reunite these children with their families, either their immediate families or their extended families.
Some 680,000 children in Haiti have been displaced by violence, almost double the number of the year ago. In total, 1.3 million people are displaced across Haiti due to worsening armed violence. Over 6 million Haitians, including 3.3 million children, now need humanitarian assistance. Armed groups have expanded their control over large areas, including key parts of Port-au-Prince and major roads. This limits access to services, aid, and opportunities. The collapse of public infrastructures and basic services contributes heavily to displacement, where services are broken and unsafe. Reporting for TAS TV, I'm Mwende.
The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission has officially begun the voting as part of the voters are stand out in large number to cast their ballots. Trevor Kinywa with more information.
IEBC has officially begun the voting experience in Nyamira County as a part of going on in process across the country. Reports indicate that polling stations are open as early in the morning and voters are tuned in to the large of number in casting their ballots.
That's true. Juu like ni free, hii kitu ni free. Wewe tafuta tu time kuja uchukue kura. Mimi nataka kuencourage kila youth. Tokea manzi. Hii ndio chance tumepewa. Tusirudi streets tena. Hii ndio chance ya kubadilisha kila kitu. Tusignore, ni free. Chukua time yako, time kidogo sana. Kama umalize, alafu urudi shughuli yako.
Ile kitu ingine ningeomba ni wale ambao walisajili vijana wetu mambo ya ID waweze kupeana hizi ID, sababu watu wetu wa Mount Kenya region vijana wanalalamika kupitia maofisi zetu ya kwamba hawapewi ID zao. ID ambazo ziliapplywa miaka miwili, mwaka mmoja uliopita, hizo ID hazijafikia vijana wetu. Kwa hivyo tungeomba serikali iweze kuachilia hizi ID na waweze kupatiana hizi ID kupitia machifu.
Well, local leaders and observers has argued the residents to turn out in large number and experience in their democratic right in their responsibility. They have also appealed for patience as the voter counting the process to begin once polling the close the router in the polling station.
Both for the constituency and also for other constituencies. The only challenge maybe comes in when sometimes we are trying to take the fingerprints and it takes a bit long to capture the prints. Some of the fingerprints have issues. Again, when it comes to capturing the photo, it's a bit challenging, but not always. So that sometimes capturing the iris, sometimes they refuse completely. So if they base on that, we can say yes, it can take a bit of time. But for voters who have no issues, it's very fast. We capture the details, the fingerprints, the photo, the iris, and it can take less than 10 minutes.
To be high resident, to experience the confidence in the electoral process. I'm reporting TAS TV. My name is Trevor Kenywa. Have a good evening.
That wraps up our today's stories. I'm Kyuli Mwikali reporting live from TAS TV, keeping you connected, concerned, and informed, and in the know.